Hello and welcome to another Napoleon Total War online battle. As with the last battle, I'm recording this near enough straight after it, so I have no idea what number of online battles I am. I will flash up on screen what it should be, and obviously you'll know by the title. So we're watching Marshal Ney march behind his army here, and I'm not commanding the French, I'm once again commanding the British with a similar build, actually exactly the same build, as my last battle against Gujarat. So basically that's 2 units of King's German Legion foot, 4 units of foot, 1 unit of Cognate Rangers, 1 unit of Highland foot, 3 units of light foot, 2 rifleman units, 2 dragoon units, 2 units of light dragoons, and a unit of 15th Hussars. Now my opponent, FJA Joker, I believe, sometimes known as Beachy as well, he has chosen to bring on his right flank, my left. What have we got? Oh, another text message. Wait. We got 3 units of Lancers, 2 of them Chateau Ligueurs Lancers, and 1 of them the 7th Regiment Lancers. There we go. So you can see them there. They're kind of like Polish Legion Lancers, it would seem. They say have the same hats. So his main bulk of his army is Polish Legion on his left flank, 2 units of those. Then we have 1 unit of Old Guard, the elite of the elite. Next to them we have Fusiliers of the Line times 5, I think. Yep, 5 units of Fusiliers of the Line. Then in front we've got some skirmishers. We have 4 units of Voltaires, if that's right. If not, that's the way I'm saying it anyway. And over on his left, my right flank, we have the 5th Regiment de Hussars basically, and 2 units of Lancers. Now, as I said in my last battle, the reason why I choose this number of cavalry is basically to try and counter such a force, which is obviously heavily Lancer related. Now I was going to try to move my Highland foot over to my right flank here, so that one, I could support this cavalry which I'm moving around, and also so I could protect my flanks, kind of as an early warning system almost, if you were. Now I just have a general's bodyguard as well. Where is he?
Group attack!
Group attack! What? Ah, here he is. What do you reckon? Oh, I don't know, mumble. How goes the war? Blah, blah, blah. Anyway, right. Enough prating about. I managed to form my Highland foot into square, as well as my Cognate Rangers, as his cavalry charged through. Now this is probably you would suddenly think that this is quite a dangerous move to be in. The cavalry's broken through my line here. However, I've managed to form square on both parts, and also my cavalry was near at hand as well to smash into the enemy cavalry. Now again, charging down the back here, not necessarily a good idea. He's trying to go for my general now. If he can take him out, that's a good thing, but obviously, as you can see, I have the freedom to turn all my line infantry into square, which basically chips away at all of his men until my dragoons can make the final counter charge here. By that time, actually, that unit's gone and my light infantry's caught up. So in that sweeping attack, I've taken out 3 units of cavalry, Hussars and Lancers. I still have the majority of my light cavalry intact, as well as all of my line infantry, and I now have a free flank with the Highland foot. Now over on the left flank, obviously he's pushing up with his cavalry to make a move here. I don't form my King's German Legion into square yet. I don't want to draw the enemy in just yet. I want to be able to reform my cavalry. My general happily comes back into the middle here, and we can see the damage of that cavalry assault on my men. Light dragoons, none of them under half, most of them sort of lost a quarter of their men, nothing more. So I move forward with my dragoons and my light dragoons, as you can see by me holding down the spacebar now in this replay. And so I'm moving over to this left flank to push the cavalry back, because I don't want them hanging around here when the infantry come. Now I have probably pushed a little further forward than I normally would. I would normally hold the line around about here, so that my men have a better firing range, because I have to wait for the enemy to come over this ridge here. So it's basically a stalemate until that occurs. Now with my Highland foot, I am spreading them out into a line to if I can, ward off the Voltaire unit. However, they're in a nice dip here, so they're not going to hit me anytime soon. And they're also busy playing their pawns rather than actually attacking me. So they do move up with their Voltaires here, which are 100 range. My rifles hidden in my line here, they're 120. So again, you'll be able to see hopefully the combination of the rifleman pulling in my enemy by firing that slightly longer range, and then being hit by the full volley of the light foot. So there we go. Also, you'll probably be wondering why I keep playing pyramids. If you haven't played me recently, then you won't know this probably, but I love the pyramids map. I really enjoy it, the tactical advantage that is available to you. I do like playing on the other side as well, though generally I'm on this side as I host the game. I will play other maps as well, but quite a lot of my battles will probably be on this. Now at this point I do realise, obviously, my not folly I'd say, but I've pushed too far forward than I normally would, so I've decided to pull back onto the higher ground. By doing that, I'm hoping to entice my enemy to come up anyway. And over on my left flank, I'm pulling up my 2 units of King's German Legion foot, as well as forming up my cavalry. Now I would always now this also helps my cavalry because they're now reinforced over here. However, as you'll see, I don't make exactly the best choice with my cavalry as to when to attack here. Also, I've got to worry about this unit of Voltaires, which has been moved around to face me, and they are able to take some shots at me. He does pull his Polish Legion away though, however he brings another unit of Voltaires round. So at this point I decide to charge with my dragoons, hopefully to get to the Lancers before they can countercharge me. Thus the majority of their strength is gone. However, his Polish Legion do manage to get a couple of shots off at my men, and so do the Voltaires, which do quite a bit of damage actually, morale wise. My men are there holding on, and they are doing some damage to the Lancers. I try and pull my dragoons back, and meanwhile on my left I charge in with all 3 units of what's left of my light cavalry. I don't know why that suddenly froze a little bit there. And also my men do get slightly owned by my light infantry. However, pulling back my light infantry to get a couple of shots off there. However, this unit of foot is getting hit. Not really badly at the moment. It's down to sort of 93 men. They're holding in there. So I managed to pull back what's left of my cavalry. I've lost 2 units of light dragoon, and I just have the 15th Hussars and my 2 units of dragoons left. I have done quite a bit of damage to his Lancers, but not as effective as I would have liked to have done, due to the infantry and light infantry support he had over here with the Polish Legion and the 2 units of Voltaires. However, I've pulled back to a more favourable position on this hill, and my opponent here obviously hoping that I will come down to attack him, or he's reforming now anyway. So even if I do have to move forward now, I've managed to lure him onto sort of the more level ground, which is what I want to do. So I push forward with my rifles. Shortly, I probably should be following them up with my light foot, I would have thought. Yep, as you'll see, yep. So I just mix them into my line there, which makes for a great ploy. Over here, my men have recuperated a wee bit, and he's now decided to pull his cavalry up here to defend a sort of really strong frontal. From me, it's my left flank, so yeah, a left flank charge of my men here. Now I did manage to capture the high ground up here, which is actually quite a useful feature. Apparently my men are fatigued. Which one are they? They've got to be the light foot, of course. So here it's just a continuous movement of moving forward with my rifles until I get them in range, because he's not moving up towards me, so I need to move to him. So I finally get in range just to get a couple of shots off. Now basically, if he doesn't move his men forward, they're going to get annihilated. They're going to get slowly picked off by my riflemen. So he decides to move them forward, which allows, as you see, my light infantry to fire off some deadly volleys. Now he's also moving up 3 units of Fusiliers of the line to try and flank me over on my left, so I'll be keeping an eye on that. Now in the centre he has his 2 remaining units of Fusiliers of the line and his impressive and powerful old guard. Now I have to be careful of those. I have managed to make a small hole in his flank, not in his flank, in his centre even. And round here I've managed to pull some foot units round. Now Over here, I've decided I'd charge in with my dragoons to try and force the Polish Legion into square, which I've done. And obviously I should have pulled them back rather than go for a full charge in. As you see, I've lost one unit already. They are actually set to attack them still. So at this point I'm trying to pull them back, and in doing that I actually lose my men. However, it gives me a chance to move up with my King's German Legion foot. However, my other unit has been forced back by the combination of Polish Legion there as well. So he's starting to outflank me on my left now, and my left flank attack has actually failed me. However, and also on the right flank, as we can see, he's starting to try and flank me on the right. Now this would be a very successful move, normally. However, I'm able to pull my own units around at the last minute, which include Highland Foot, Cognaut Rangers, and some foot units, as well as some light foot, which should be placed more in front of my line infantry there, or my line infantry are actually going to get shot in the back a bit. But anyway, I'm able to deal with them, although I should be pulled out slightly further, but again, he's able to outflank me slightly more, though I did get a couple of volleys off into that Fusiliers of the Line unit there, and these do have an extra bit of veterancy to hold them together. I rally my men in the centre there as he's pushing up, and I've pulled my unit of foot back here so I can hopefully deal with this old guard that's now flanking me, which obviously, as we know, the power of the old guard, or those that play with Players France, they know how strong the old guard are and how devastating they can be. In the centre, he's lost the majority of his men now, which means that I can actually repel his flanking attacks if I can pull some light infantry over to help screen my men. Now he is flanking me over here with this unit of Fusiliers of the Line. My Highland Foot doing a grand old job at the moment, just holding together. And I'm putting my General's Bodyguard over here, hopefully to rally them, or at least inspire them, or at least to get them near there so to face them with his presence, his inspirational ring that you have around them in blue. So I decided to push my Highland Foot forward for a charge, if I can get there. Obviously they do get shot to pieces before that even happens, so I do lose that little skirmish. However, the combination of Cognaut Rangers and foot, and another unit of foot coming in from my centre now, is enough to hit these two units here, two remaining units, really hard, as well as this that Fusilier of Line infantry unit, because both those two units here had been focusing on the Highland Foot, and also my men are pretty well on the morale front. Now, I do have a unit of King's German Foot which I brought back, however, they're moving here. The Polish Legion is moving up there, so I don't know really what's going to go on here. I was trying to flank the Old Guard. Now, the Old Guard are actually getting owned now, but that's because I've got two units of foot firing on them, and light infantry and rifles. The Old Guard are now shattered, and they've broken. I've tried to pull my King's German Legion foot back here to make sort of a secondary flank on my left here. Over on my right, you can see I managed to push back the two units of line infantry. We've got a unit of Voltaires here, and we've got another unit of Fusiliers of the Line. General's Bodyguard is there. I probably should move him back a bit because he's going to get shot. Cognaut Rangers doing a grand old job here at picking off the enemy. They have very good accuracy. And the General's Bodyguard is Marshal Ney, moving behind his the only unit that remains of his centre force. Voltaire's here, firing on the flanks of my light infantry. Now he's moving up with some cavalry, but again, what remains of his lancers, they're not really going to be that effective at this stage in the game. One unit has already shattered the other unit, not enough of them to really do any damage, plus my squares picked off what was left of them. So that gives me a chance to push up with my my left flank attack. However, he has had some units come back from his Polish Legion unit here, which is now going to get a couple of shots off on my flank, so I basically need to pull them back at an angle, a straight line, pull them straight. Now, over here I've dealt with the right flank, besides this unit of Fusiliers of the Line which has come back, which is very annoying, so I keep having to come back to them. And I'm going to actually have to fast forward, even though this is a 15-minute recording. I'm about to run out of time, and I don't want that to happen. So basically on the left flank, I'm able to, with my combined forces, pull back and annihilate the enemy.
One of our units has used all its
And I'm probably going to
ammunition,
have to just cut now straight to the results, but you generally get the idea. I push up in the middle here, flank out the remaining forces. Okay, so there's the results screen. A good game to Joker. Please comment, rate and subscribe. See you next time.